Hi again, everybody. Mike Moyers along with head coach Andy Douglas as we move into the final game of the regular season. Where'd this time go?
I'm telling you, man, this year's flown by, hasn't
Wow,
it?
it's just amazing. You know, and all the good things I've been hearing about you and the program around the city, I could have been more impressed with something you don't even know you did last week, and here's what it was. On the post-game show with Tim and with Coach Longo.
Yeah.
When they brought up that call at the end of the first half, you danced around that and kept right on going, and I just started laughing. I said, "Boy, he got out of that quick." But you handled that well.
Yeah, it was a tough call. We watched it over and over and over again, and sometimes it looks a little worse when you watch it, and sometimes in the game you think it's horrible, and it was a rough call, but I'm glad our guys rallied around it and were able to put together a solid second half.
I've got friends and relatives who sit in the west section right there. They were 15 feet from it, and they were like, how is that not a foul?
Yeah.
Well, that was the question.
I thought the same thing. We're on the same page. Now, people thought I got the technical, and it wasn't me. It was our beloved trainer who did.
Okay. Well, everybody I talked to said, well, the leopard's running his mouth again.
Yeah. Poor Gary. He came away with it, but I told him, I said, it wasn't what you said. It was what everybody else said beforehand. So, again, rough call. You get some of those, but you just hope you can put together a solid second half, and our guys were able to do that.
Well, you did just that. I think in second half you held Moline to 19 points in the second half. They had a single-digit quarter, and you really rebounded well from that, given the fact that they started off with 2 foul shots to start the second half and the ball back, and they made it a 2 or 3 point game, but it had been 7.
Yeah, it was. I'm not going to lie, when you're put in that situation, I thought our guys played really well, and we were supposed to come out and get one stop, but obviously the 2 free throws eliminated our possibility of getting that stop. But Moline, we tell our guys constantly, it's a game of runs, and obviously we made some, Moline made some, and again, we came away with the final run, which was good.
Reflect for a moment about your first season as the head coach here and those 3 kids that you spotlighted, your 3 seniors.
Yeah, it's special. And I think anytime you take over a job and you have leadership like you have with Lincoln, Reagan, and George, it makes my job a heck of a lot easier. And those guys kind of set the standard during the summertime. Obviously, George was in the football and working to develop his game there. That's his main sport. But Lincoln and Reagan didn't miss a day of workouts, and even days that we gave them off, they still were in the weight room and wanted to get in there and even worked on their own. And I think it's a big positive. It's a big plus for your program. Everybody else sees what they're doing, and again, it starts with them. And I said on the radio show last week, and I'll continue to say it, I'm in debt to them for a long time for what they've given the program and what they've given me. So all in all, it's been a great first year.
That's Andy Douglas. I'm Mike Moyers. We're going to come back and talk about the upcoming game on Friday against Rock Island Alleman and postseason after we hear this from Landmarks.
When Andy Douglas became the head coach of the Quincy High Blue Devils, he wanted a fresh start and a new look, starting with a locker room. The first place he called was Landmarks. You're looking at the finished product, wall picks, logos, inspirational quotes, and even window treatments. Each application was custom designed and installed by Landmarks right here in Quincy.
The window treatments are one of my favorite parts. They got kind of the wood feel. We're able to see out and see what's going on in the locker room, and the players can't see in, so that's kind of a special thing. But it has one of our favorite quotes on it, the image of one projects the image of all. It's a quote that we use with our program, our players. But again, it's a great addition to our locker room. It adds a lot of spice to it.
Wall picks, screen printing, embroidering, vehicle wraps. Let Landmarks give your home or office or locker room a fresh new look. Landmarks, make your mark.
Back with Andy Douglas here on QJ-TV as we talk a little bit about the game on Friday night, which to me scares me a little bit because you could be looking past the team that you blew out down here.
Yeah, and obviously you don't want to do that, especially towards the end of the year. You want your guys to come and play and put together complete games. We say that constantly. Need to put together a complete game on the offensive end and defensive end, and we're going to have to do that against Rock Island Alaman. And it's at their place, at their little gym, and it's always tough going and playing there. I just hope that our guys are ready to go and execute. And we've obviously put them. That's our main goal, but we've also thrown in some stuff that we can work on with Edwardsville coming up on Tuesday. So we don't want to look too far past, but obviously now's the time when we can start focusing in a little bit and starting to prepare for regional play.
Reflecting back on that game down here, though, I was at home. I turned it on. It was like 20-0, and I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah,
that was tough.
It's rough. They're obviously going through a really tough time, and have a couple key guys that have been out and injured. So you hate to see that with athletes. But the thing I said, and I've said it before when we played them, is I was really impressed with how hard they came out and played, even though their record was not very good at the time. And, their coach has done a phenomenal job of motivating them to play and play hard, and they've continued to do that. So anytime you go against a team who hasn't won a conference game, I think it's a dangerous game because they're hungry to get one. And obviously, again, being on their home court, our guys have to come focused and ready to go.
I know you're a good Christian, he is. And I know you would never, ever have bet on anything, but you wouldn't have bet you guys would be 7-3 in the conference this year, would you?
No.
That's a tough one.
It is. You always think you have a chance with our guys as hard as they prepare and as hard as they practice. You think they have a shot at it, but I mean, if you just look at our roster and you look at some of the other ones, I don't think many people were giving us a shot. And there's actually some that picked us to be last in conference this year. So it's been motivation for us as a team, as a program, to play above and beyond. And I think, once in coaches we talked about just the other day, if you look back on how our guys have played and some of the games that we've won, they've played above and beyond.
I've talked to some people about this upcoming postseason situation. You have to drive down, you have to play Edwardsville, and the comment I've made is, if I'm Edwardsville, Alton, or Granite City, I don't want to play you.
Yeah, I hope not. I hope not. It's tough. Obviously, it's a long trip for us, but again, I think our guys are so excited about getting it started and having the opportunity to face Edwardsville on their home court. Can be a little, tough, but I think our guys are up to that challenge. They look at a team and a program who's brought home trophies the last couple of years and have been there constantly. So, we spoke with our guys towards the end of practice yesterday, and we just reiterated the fact that this is a team that has a lot riding on this regional, being at their place, and the team that's been to the state tournament the last couple of years, obviously a different team. We don't have the pressure of that. So whether it's us, Granite City, we're kind of playing with house money, if you will. So I think that's special in a way, but it's going to be a tough game against Edwardsville, and if we can find a way to scratch and claw that one out, it's going to be a tough regional for sure.
Talking about Edwardsville, Mike Waldo is one of the most interesting coaches I've ever seen. He almost drove George Bergman crazy here one night. He had like 57 substitutions. And I don't think he does it anymore, but he did in that one game.
Yeah, he's a coach that I've looked up to for a long time, ever since I was an assistant playing against him and watching his teams play and watching his teams execute. A lot of coaches, that's a dream when you can get your players to play that way, and I think we're working on some things here, but he's always been a coach that I've looked up to.
Three things I want to touch on right quick. Bob Moore, still thinking about him. I understand he's still in Mayo. Is that true?
That's what I've heard, yep. Still giving thoughts to him and prayers for him.
Dick Thompson called me at the office the other day and said, how do I get to watch the Blue Devils on TV?
I tell you what you guys are doing with that it's phenomenal. I mean, I've had a ton of phone calls, a ton of text messages, and obviously over social media. I don't know if you know what that is, but over social media, we've had a lot of people praising what you guys have done, and again, being able to broadcast the games and people from out of town and even some out of the country being able to watch. It's a special thing.
Special thing, we need to thank some people, and we forgot to mention this the last two shows. Last October, a group of us, along with Andy, put together, we continued the Quincy High Blue Devil basketball golf tournament, and we had the McLean brothers, we had Jeff and Rod underwrite this and did a wonderful job. And then recently, I remember Jeff McLean saying, we'll do it again next year too.
I was there. I heard it too. It's great that they jumped on board and were the corporate sponsor for our golf outing. We had quite a few teams sign up for it, and everybody that I spoke to about it said that the gift cards that they gave each player was a great idea, and they were very appreciative of it. So we can't thank those guys enough.
Well, you really don't need a reason to go to Kelly's, the Abbey's, Gym City Pizza, or Tower. You don't need a reason.
No,
but
no.
if they're gonna spot you a $25 gift card and then you get to play golf, why not?
I'm there.
Hey, gotcha. I've enjoyed this. Much good
Absolutely.
luck on Friday and down the road, okay?
Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
it. Hey, that's going to do it for us. A reminder that on Friday night, we'll have the games as per usual right here on QuincyJournal.com. QJTV, easy to do. Easy to do. Believe me, if I can do it, you can do it. Also, Q104, Tim Kincherf, and the illustrious Matt Longo doing the play-by-play in color. Not only on Friday, but we'll have the game next Tuesday as well. For Landmarks, the lovely and talented Andy Douglas, Mike Moyer saying, we'll see you when we see you.